What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rip, and I'm here with my first video blog of 2018. We're kicking off the new year on a strong start. I just took a trip to the Grammys for the first time ever. My first trip to New York. My album Trinity, which is available now, was on the ballot, and 3 of the songs in that album was on the ballot at the Grammys, so they invited me to go to the Grammys. It was an awesome time, awesome experience. So stay tuned to this video if you guys want to hear all about my trip. If you want to hear my letdowns in New York, and if you also want to hear if I met any celebrities, which is one of the biggest questions everybody's asking. If you want to know the answer to the great debate, in my opinion, what's better, Chicago style or New York style pizza. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I cover all of this in this video. Right off the top, unfortunately, my Snapchat is what I took most of my videos on, and I was saving my stories, and unfortunately the stories didn't save properly, so I lost a lot of videos from that night. So unfortunately I cannot give you as much footage as I wanted to. I was hoping to bring you guys the whole Snapchat story, but I had issues with that. It didn't save properly. So if you're here for a ton of footage, I don't have a ton of footage. I have some videos, some pictures that were taken, but I will try to explain the trip as best as possible. For those that don't know, my album Trinity was on the ballot for Best Contemporary Christian Album, and I had 3 singles from that album for Best Contemporary Christian Song. So I had those 4 items on the ballot, so they invited me to the Grammys. The good news is I still have 3 more songs from the album that I'm going to be releasing videos for and as singles after the release or after the cutoff date for the Grammys. So the good news is I have 3 more singles. Hopefully they'll be on the ballot for next year's Grammys as well, and I hope to return to the Grammys next year when they return to LA. So with that said, my trip, it was kind of hampered by an injury. I currently have sciatica, so unfortunately I was really stuck to Times Square and the Manhattan area. I didn't really get to see a lot of the sightseeing and a lot of places that I wanted to see, so that was an unfortunate thing. But overall, my Grammy experience, it was cool, it was fun. I flew out there with my brother. One thing for a trip like this is something where you really got to bring somebody that's significant in your life, and my brother, you know, as of right now, you know, he's probably the most significant person as far as someone who supports me, someone who'd be able to appreciate the trip. And a trip like this also costs a lot of money, so you also need somebody who's going to be able to really fund themselves and hold their own on a trip like this too, because it is not cheap. New York is not cheap. That was one thing that kind of disappointed me about New York. I couldn't even enjoy it because everything was just so inflated. I mean, that's just the way things are out there. We flew into LaGuardia from O'Hare, took a shuttle down to Manhattan, and we pretty much stayed in Times Square the whole time. And Saturday, you know, as soon as we got into Times Square, we went and grabbed lunch. First thing off the bat, we went to grab lunch, and I wanted to get Mexican, so we went to this one place. I really wasn't that impressed by it. You know, I'm half Mexican, my dad is Mexican, you know, I grew up with the Mexican culture, and I really didn't see any of that in Times Square. And but we went to this one place in Times Square. It was kind of more of Tex-Mex, American style, and we met a nice couple there, and they were a real cool couple. We started talking to them. They showed us a real nice welcome to New York, and we asked them where's a good place to get some pizza, because my brother and I, we wanted to solve the great debate: what style is better, Chicago or New York style pizza? And they recommended we go check out Lombardi's in Little Italy. So we didn't really have time Saturday, and we knew all day Sunday we'd be doing stuff for the Grammys, and so our goal was to get there Monday before we had to fly out. Saturday was cool. You know, we had to go pick up our tickets. There was a special hotel ballroom that they had where you all the Recording Academy members pick up their tickets to be invited to the Grammys. It's an exclusive kind of event, so it felt kind of cool and kind of special, because it's not just anybody could go. It's not like you could jump on Ticketmaster and buy tickets to the Grammys, or, you know what I'm saying, like just anybody off the streets can buy tickets for the right price. I mean, I'm sure there's people who scalp them, and, you know, some people get them, but I mean, for the most part, it's an exclusive event to Recording Academy members only. Past winners, past nominees, and just Recording Academy members and people who are on the ballot like myself, that were invited. So it was kind of cool because, you know, already when you get there, you feel kind of exclusive. You feel accepted by the music industry. I mean, this is the highest level that you can reach in the music industry. You know, this is music's biggest night in essence, and just to be a part of that in itself just felt awesome, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been putting out music for like 20-some years, so to finally be accepted by the Recording Academy and my peers and all that other stuff, man, it just felt like a big stepping stone for me. You know, that's mainly what this trip was, man. This trip wasn't to go win any awards or to rub elbows with celebrities. It was about being a stepping stone in my career. So we went and got the tickets on Saturday. We hung out, we kept it low key, grabbed some dinner. Me and my brother, we went to a comedy club. We had some good laughs on Saturday. and my sciatica was really killing me, so we didn't do too much. We didn't walk around and really sightsee that much, and we woke up ready to rock. We started getting ready. My brother was looking dapper, man. He was looking fresh. We were looking fly. And then we went downstairs to the hotel lobby to start taking some pictures. And this is when my sciatica really started acting up. It was bad. Like, I could barely stand. And at this point, one of the managers at the front desk of the hotel, we were talking to him earlier, and he said, you know, you should check out City MD. It's urgent care, man. I had the same exact thing, man. I got a shot of Turadol, and they gave me some pain pills, and it really helped. So on Sunday, the day for the Grammys, we're getting all ready to go. You know, they got a pre-premiere ceremony where they give out all the awards and all that stuff, and all these other things that you don't see that's televised. And we were hoping to get to that because, you know, you can only televise so many awards. They only televise like 9 awards out of like the 80-some that they give out. So we were really hoping to go and experience that and see some of the other stuff, and all the other artists went presented with awards that you didn't see on the televised version. And my brother's like, you know what, man? I don't want you to be hurting all night. This is going to put a damper on your night and on my night. He said, we're going to urgent care. Let's go. So as we were getting in the Uber to go down to Madison Square Garden to check out the Grammys, we really decided on the spur of the moment to go to City MD, which is an urgent care out there in New York, and go get a shot. He's like, I'm like, man, I don't know, it's too expensive. He's like, I'll pay for it. He said, I'll pay for it, this and that, if da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right, man. So we went to urgent care, City MD, and I ended up getting a shot of Turadol in my butt to ease the pain, and they gave me a prescription. So then we went to Walgreens to get the prescription, but it ended up being they were closed. And then by that time we got back in the Uber, man, the streets were crazy. The Grammys were about to be popping in like an hour, and we're already late, man. We missed a premiere party and all that fun stuff that would have came with it, you know, had we gotten there like a couple hours earlier. But because of my injury and my sciatica and my brother wanting to go to urgent care and being so persistent about that, we missed a lot of the fun opportunities and seeing some things at the premiere ceremony and everything. And we got there right about an hour before the televised ceremony was going to start. So I was a little disappointed because we missed out on some of the experiences of some of the things that we would have experienced had we got there a couple hours earlier, but due to my injury and the sciatica, unfortunately we missed out on that. So I don't have pictures of the pre-ceremony and all that other stuff. So it was a good experience. The thing about the Grammys was, actually, it was not as lit in person as you guys would expect or you guys experienced on TV. You know, on TV it was just really like, it looked lit, you know what I'm saying, with the camera angles and the camera shots of, you know, the crowds right there that they put in the mosh pit, you know, on purpose and all that stuff, and like just the shots I get of all the celebrities sitting right up front. You know, it looks lit, like it's a good time. And honestly, in person, you probably didn't miss too much, to be honest. I'm being honest with you. It was just kind of really tame. It was a lot of people, you know, me and my brother, we were trying to get into it, and there was a lot of people sitting around us, you know, everybody in their tuxedos and the recording academy and all that stuff, just really conservative, just sitting in their seats. And, you know, I remember even DJ Khaled was like, get your hands up, and me and my brother are standing up, and we're like raging, we're like looking around, and there's just people just sitting there, and it just wasn't lit. I mean, the Madison Square Garden or the promoters or the producers of this show, they didn't hook it up with like concert sound. It wasn't like a concert sound like you would go to Rockstar, like a Rockstar event or a big concert, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just kind of like almost like they had some house speakers, kind of like just like you'd have in your house stereo system, like kind of mounted up in Madison Square Garden. It was just kind of tame. So, you know, all those people who are watching, they're like, man, that looks lit, that looks like an awesome time. It was fun, it was a cool experience, but you honestly probably weren't missing much for the kind of money you would pay if you were to fly to New York and spend all this money to go. So yes, it was a cool experience. It was my first time in New York, but at the same time, you know, looks can be deceiving on TV. It looked a lot more lit than what it really was. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people, but just the energy wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? So that was one thing of my experience for the Grammys, but it was cool nonetheless. I look forward to going back next year. It's going to be in LA. A lot of people that I talked to in the industry or that I met, you know, I sat next to an entertainment lawyer. I met a bunch of other people in the industry that night, and they were like, you know, LA is a lot better, you know, and they were just like, this is, you know, not as good as LA, because they're used to doing it in LA every single year, the Staples Center. So hopefully I'll be able to be on the ballot next year and check that out. They had free shuttles from the Madison Square Garden over to the Marriott Marquis, which was where the official after party was. I sat next to some dude from CSAC. You know, I'm a BMI artist. He was from CSAC, and we just started chopping it up, which is a performance right organization for artists. And man, I just, I met a lot of people. We got to the after party, and the after party was dope. That's where I had the most fun, man. I walked in there. You guys already know from my Snapchat, if you guys follow me, my thing is I'm here for the food. So we got there. It was free food, all types of food. Man, you name it. It had Chinese, chicken, baked mac and cheese, like steak stuff, and seafood. And, girls were walking around giving oysters and all this stuff. Open bar. Chic performed. Man, the party was dope. And a lot of people ask me, the number one question I get, did you meet any celebrities? Meet any celebrities? Meet any celebrities? That's pretty much a subjective question. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of a celebrity? Like, if you're thinking Bruno Mars, Lady Gaga's, and your Jay-Z's and all that stuff, no, those people, a lot of people, I think actually Lady Gaga actually left right after her performance, if I'm not mistaken, from what I saw. My brother noticed that Jerry Seinfeld left right after his appearance. And it was kind of one of those things, like, when you're at that level, them celebrities, they kind of dip off. Like, a lot of people do pre-parties the night before with their official record label. Or if they do a party that night of, it's an official record label party they go to. And it's just, they're all really confined right there in the middle. Like, they make it real exclusive for those people that are winners and nominees. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just kind of one of those things where it's really exclusive. So you're like Rihanna's and all those Keshas and stuff, like, they're not really at the after parties, even the official Grammy after parties. But you will have, like previous year winners and other people that are kind of lesser known, but not like super A-list superstars right now. But that's what was at the after party. A lot of those people, and we were just hanging out, enjoying ourselves, rubbing bowls. I honestly went with zero expectations, and the reason I went with this mentality was because when you have expectations, you always tend to be let down. So I went to the Grammys. I went to New York with absolutely zero expectations. I wanted to go enjoy myself with me and my brother, meet whoever I was supposed to meet, whatever purpose God wanted me to go to the New York for and experience at the Grammys. Like, I was willing and accepting to that. So I wasn't having any hopes or any expectations of anything else other than that. We had a good time. We partied with a lot of Recording Academy members, past winners, people behind the scenes that you don't know and see, other nominees, other people that were considerees on the ballot like myself. And it was just a real cool time. I really enjoyed the after party more than I enjoyed the Grammys itself. And that's where I have a little more pictures and videos to show you guys. And we partied till 3 a.m. and when the party was over, we were ready to keep going, me and my brother. We didn't want to leave, but hey, we're party animals from Chicago, and that's just what it was. But we were walking back to our hotel, and this was my biggest disappointment in New York. At 3 a.m. after the party's over, you're looking for something to eat, and we were walking around, and on the streets there was not one taco vendor to be seen. All I wanted was a steak taco. No, I wanted like 3 or 4, but all I wanted was some steak tacos in Times Square. Not one taco vendor on the street to be found. Every corner, somebody slinging hot dogs and pretzels carts, hot dogs and pretzels. I don't want no hot dogs. They're not even Chicago-style hot dogs. But I couldn't even get a taco. Like, there was not even a taco joint, a taqueria, like nothing. And that was my biggest disappointment and letdown in New York. So, I'm surprised in a place like Times Square there wasn't some hustler out there, one of my paisanos out there slinging some tacos, making that money, because that's a money maker if you ask me. So New York, you let me down in that aspect, but you know what, I'll let you off the hook, because I'm sure you go down up to Brooklyn or something. I'm sure they got plenty of fire tacos and bomb tacos out there, but unfortunately I didn't make it out to any of those other districts on this trip. So I do want to go back and give New York a fair shot next time, so I will give you that. But the next day, we were supposed to check out Lombardi's Pizza in Little Italy. Unfortunately, because of the circumstances I explained, we couldn't make it out there. So the concierge at our hotel said, listen, there's this place called John's Pizza. It's right over here, right around the corner, 3 blocks away. It's just as good. This dude knows his stuff. He knows exactly. It's just as good as Lombardi's. So we took the lady's word. We went and checked it out. I said, you know what? I'll give Lombardi's a fair shot next time I come back. But, just with everything going on and the limited time we have, I'm going to go check out this John's Pizza place. And we checked it out, and the verdict is in. The final great debate of Chicago versus New York style pizza is in. And hands down, without a doubt, you're not topping Chicago style pizza. It's just not going to happen. New York, I'm sorry. Maybe I could give it another shot when I try Lombardi's down the road. But as far as I'm concerned, Chicago style pizza wins hands down. Maybe I'm a little biased because I'm from there and I grew up there and I'm just, I'm partial to it. But in my book, I'm sorry, you're not going to top it, man. It's just, and you can't even have this debate if you haven't tried both. You know what I'm saying? But once you do, I mean, the verdict is clear cut. You know what I'm saying? Chicago wins all day, every day when it comes to the pizza. That's just my opinion. So that's pretty much a pretty quick recap on my trip to the Grammys in New York for the first time. God willing, I look forward to being back there next year in LA, and with your help. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we could take it to the next level. We could get a nomination, maybe even a win down the road. But it really starts with you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really need your help. I can't do this on my own. Even though the Recording Academy are the people that vote, are the members that vote on the entries. It starts with you guys, honestly. You know, I need all the support I can get. It's called social proof. You know, when they go and they see, you know, I need to build my awareness. I need to build my brand awareness, you know, RIP. And it starts with you guys. It starts with you guys sharing, subscribing to my YouTube page, subscribing and following me on all my social media channels, you know, sharing the videos, commenting on the videos every time I release one. It's called social proof, and it shows, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, people have a following. And when you have a following, you know, more people are apt to follow somebody who has a big following, and it just kind of snowballs. There's a snowball effect. And when you have the kind of muscle behind you, that's when people start to support you, and that's when people start taking notice as well, like people in the Recording Academy. So I think the categories that I'm entered in with my music, I think I have pretty strong potential to be a nominee one of these days. But I really ask for your help in that aspect. Do what you guys can. I'm not asking you to buy anything. I'm just asking you to click a subscribe button, a like button, a share button, and take a few seconds to comment every time I release a video or any sort of video on YouTube. It really helps. So that's what I'm asking. I hope you guys enjoyed my recap of the Grammys. I'm sorry I was not able to bring as much footage as I liked, but again, God willing, hopefully next year I'll be able to. I learned from my mistake this year with Snapchat overwriting the stories. Every time you save it, I was going crazy saving it like 3-4 times a day, but because it was the same date, it was resaving on top of itself. So every time I saved it, it erased the other one. So I learned that mistake. Hopefully I won't do that next time. Make sure you guys follow me on Snapchat, Who Is Rip. You can follow me on Instagram, Who Is Rip, on Twitter, Who Is Rip. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rip Records. And you can always, as always, I have everything on my website at all times, whoisrip.com. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I pray and hope that you guys are doing well in the new year. And I just want to thank you for rocking with me. It's going to be a solid year. I got 3 more songs to release this year and 3 more videos. And hopefully, God willing, they'll be on the ballot next year at the Grammys as well. But I need your support. It starts with you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you very much. God bless you. We'll see you next time.